Mike Stanton here, filming this on a beautiful summer day in 2019 in Clinton, New York. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful 1967 Cadillac Eldorado. My website is supersportmotors.com. And a lot of you follow me on YouTube, probably just because of these 67 through 70 Eldorados that I seem to have an affinity and an addiction for that is almost indescribable. But this one really kind of captures my heart. It's these dark colored Eldorados that just really grab me. I can't tell you how many people have called me and they want an Eldorado. Well, guess what? I've got one. And best of all, the hardest ones to come by are the ones that do not have the roof. Now, my own personal 67 Eldorado is a black one with Dalmatian interior, and I do have the vinyl roof, and I love it. But I have to admit that I think I like them better without the top. And this particular one really just, I mean, if I own this more than 2 weeks, I'm going to be shocked once this thing goes online. But this one really just has a look to it. Now, this is not a perfect Eldorado, and none of them are. This car is as old as I am, so they do have little flaws here and there. I'll do my best to point them out. And in my photos, I'll probably take 150 photos of this car, and I'll put it on my website, and any little things that are wrong with it, I will list it on there. So a little bit of the history of this car, from what I know of it. The owner before me owned this car for 34 years. It is code 90 Atlantis Blue Fire Mist. Now, back in the day, I think there was five Fire Mist colors, and they were all incredible. This is my favorite. I mean, anytime I find an Atlantis Blue Fire Mist Eldo, I get all weak in the knees. You know, like the first time you kissed a girl. Same thing for me. Same thing for me here when I see these beautiful dark blue Eldorados. And look at that thing. Look at the lines without that top. I mean, there's a reason these cars are so sought after. You know why? There's not a bad angle on this car. I could walk around this car and hang from a tree, for God's sakes, or swing from a vine and take photos, and it looks just the same, just stunning. So, this car has 89,600 miles. It was sold new on July 31st, 1967, in the great state of North Carolina. That license plate is just beautiful. So I put it on there just to showcase the car. That's one of those copper Arizona plates from the 70s that are just beautiful as well. So the tires are good, the brakes are good. The options on this car, because these cars were ordered with so many different options, right down from the ones that had no air conditioning to every single option you can name. This one has cruise, this one has air conditioning, this one has the AM/FM radio. And for some reason, somebody ordered this with roll-down back windows, which is really cool because I had one last summer the same way. And they're pretty neat with the roll-down back windows because nobody ordered them that way. Well, while I'm here, let's pop the hood, shall we? Now, the paint is, I'd say the paint on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a brand new vehicle and 1 being in a junkyard, I'd say it's a good solid 8, 8.5. Very good paint. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very, very good. Now, here's something really cool. This is the only Eldorado I've ever seen where the valve covers are flawless, and usually the paint bakes off these things. I don't know why, and so people paint them, but you can tell they paint them. This one's not been painted. See if I can get a close-up on this side because the sun is on this side. Look at that. Hard to tell in this video, but really shows very nice. Very, very nice. So, I'm here also. The data plate, it might be hard to see, but you'll see it in my photos. I believe I'm pointing to it. Should say 90 for the paint, which decodes, of course, to Atlantis Blue Fire Mist. Atlantis Blue Fire Mist. Now, obviously, 50 years on a car. There's going to be some things that have happened to the car, but this one really is straight. I don't know if you can tell, but just take a close look at how straight everything really is. Like the way the lines go up through here as well as down through here. Refocus. There you go. My camera was unfocused for a second because I did that. But what I'm trying to show you is the lines are really nice in this car. It's not too awfully hard to tell when a car's been hit and repaired. Even if it's been repaired perfectly, I cannot tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt if this car has never been in an accident, because you can't run Carfax reports on these cars. Got to be a 1981 or newer, one of the cars that has 17 numbers in the VIN number, which started in 1981. So let's take a look at the interior here now. I had two of these in the last couple of years in this Atlantis Blue Fire Mist. One had blue interior and one had the black interior, and I gotta say I think I'm more partial to the blue. A lot of cars are black, but how many are blue? It is hard to tell, but that material is just the most beautiful material. I wish I could actually tell you what it is, like what the material is, but I can't. But I can tell you that the seats are in fantastic shape, as well as the carpet. Don't stress out if you can't see my carpet pictures on this video, because I take a lot in my photos, and you'll be able to get a good interpretation of the condition of everything if you look at my photos very carefully. I do the video because I like doing them, and it's a lot of fun. Gives you a lot of different angles on the car. That's where they put the VIN number. Gives you the different look on the car and stuff like that. You can hear the door closes. You can hear the doors close, rather, and how nicely they sound. It has got the correct size tire on these cars, which is the 235/70 R15, and the tires are in fantastic shape. Now the car drives beautiful. All the lights and everything work just fine. The headlight door works. Headlight doors, rather, work just fine. So again, please take a look at my website, supersportmotors.com. I do take trades once in a while, although at the moment I don't feel like taking trades because I got enough cars in my collection that I've got my hands full keeping 20 cars healthy. That is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Every car I have, including the few cars that I have for sale, are driven all the time. All the fluids are changed to keep them nice and healthy. And I hope I've rattled on enough about this car. Let me see if I can recap very quickly for you. 1967 Cadillac Eldorado, pretty much loaded out. Code 90, which comes back to Atlantis